Hi, everyone. We'll get started very shortly. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Neuroflash's webinar, The Role of Chatbots in Healthcare. We're excited to have you join us today and for us to talk with you about how Einstein bots will have a positive impact in your company during and following the current crisis, how it will improve your customer experience and save your company money. Let me quickly go over some housekeeping rules for the webinar. After this webinar, we'll be sending the recording out to you all for your convenience. On the Zoom platform, to submit your questions, you'll see beneath the screen a bar pull up. In this bar, please click Q&A button to submit questions anytime throughout the webinar. We'll have about a 10-minute Q&A at the end and can schedule a one-on-one discovery session with you as a next step if need be. We'll also be sending a survey to you after this webinar for you to submit any feedback. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michaela McCarthy. I am the event marketing lead here at Neuroflash. I'm really excited for you to hear from these great speakers today. First, I'd like to introduce you to John Hostiller. John has over 23 years of experience in the contact center industry. John is now the VP of Sales at Neuroflash, where he is focusing on the Service Cloud and contact center space. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Jad Cattersby, one of our senior solution engineers. Jad has a deep expertise in the chatbot space. He's worked with a vast number of brands to help provide Einstein bot solutions to help companies reduce costs, as well as provide a positive customer and agent experience. So without further ado, I'll hand this over to John.
Okay, thanks for that awesome introduction, Michaela, and welcome everybody. We're excited to be hosting this webinar today with you all. So I guess to get started, so we've seen a ton of interest in chatbots and understanding what they can do for our customer and really how to deploy those chatbots. So we wanted to put this webinar to demystify a lot of the noise that you hear on the market and really help you with this chatbot journey. So we're going to be discussing the role of chatbots and why they matter now more than ever. Jad's going to go through some Einstein bots in action. So we're going to show you what they can do within your company. And then I'll finish up by going through some tactical steps on how to get started on this journey and how to make a chatbot successful. So, and then as Michaela mentioned, we'll wrap it up with a Q&A session at the end. So please get your questions in. So a little bit about Neuroflash and our history with chatbots. So it is a core component to Neuroflash. We have over 50 chatbots in production today. And really, the DNA of our company comes from three different companies that have been doing this for a while. So, the first is at Nuance. So we, the leadership led sales and development, and really integrated some of the first voice and text chatbots for the enterprise on the market. We also have our founders also came from Haywire, which is a digital engagement two-way SMS company. That was actually bought by Salesforce and is the SMS platform for Salesforce today. And then of course we have Salesforce, which is the basis of everything that we do here at Neuroflash. So collectively we have a great amount of experience working with bots and messaging, and we want to help our customers with that experience. In addition to that kind of DNA, we're also a gold Salesforce consulting partner with a dedication to customer satisfaction and customer success. You can kind of see that here we have over 87 AppExchange reviews, 5-star AppExchange reviews today, and have what we're very proud of, our near perfect CSAT score here at 9.97. So hyper-focused on our customers and your customers and that experience through chatbots. So I guess for all of us, why are we talking about chatbots today? So it's kind of trends within the industry towards digital and automation that we've seen building over the years, but we're actually seeing this come to fruition now. So a number of our customers had chatbots on their roadmap, but now we see a real sense of urgency to get those bots live. And that's specifically coming from a couple different areas. So the contact center is changing, right? I think we've all seen that. So we've through this pandemic, we've seen whole contact centers that have actually closed, and some had the luxury of being able to work from home, and other ones didn't, right? So we've seen that. We've also seen the expectations to do more with less are now higher than ever, and automation in that is absolutely paramount. In addition to that, our customers and patients, their expectations haven't relented. So they still have an expectation of immediate responses through whatever channel they want. This has been something that we've seen across all industries. So I guess the good news is that technology is changing at a rapid rate, and it's allowing companies and enabling them to do more through chatbots in their AI journey. So now that we've kind of talked about why chatbots are important, let's talk about what is a chatbot. So I'm pretty simplistic, so I like pictures, and it doesn't get more simple than this. So a chatbot is taking data from your digital channels like chat, SMS, WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook, applying artificial intelligence to that data, and then providing automation through the conversation. So at a really high level, right, this is what a chatbot is and what it can accomplish. Specifically, would love to show this slide. This is the Einstein Chatbot and how that can help you, how that differs from just any chatbot. So within this context of the slide here, you can see why Einstein bots are a true home run in the implementation. So you have one place where your chat, messaging, channels, customer data, and integration, all powered by this Einstein AI, exist in one place. So truly unique in the industry. Typically, the biggest hurdle for chatbots are bringing all of those components together. But within Salesforce, and in this case, they already coexist. Moving on here, I'm also a big data guy. I like pictures, and I like data. So really, ultimately, what matters are the results. If you look up here across, we've seen these results across all of the 50 odd chatbots that we've deployed. Things across customer service, upwards of 40 to 50, and even some of our customers have up to 60% case deflection. Because we're structuring the data to pass to an agent, we've seen 20% average reduction in average handle time for the agents. So the agents are more productive. From a sales perspective, we're seeing more qualified leads and a reduction in the sales cycle. What we found is that by having something other than a form, we can quickly engage the customer, provide call to actions to get them to engage, and then get that information in that case as a lead to the right salesperson, right, based upon routing rules, based upon the information collected, so that they can quickly and efficiently handle those sales leads. And then ultimately, it's the user experience, right? If something isn't great for the customers and doesn't have a good user experience, they're not going to adopt it. So we've seen 3 times increase in digital engagement as opposed to traditional phone and email channels. and then a great user experience and a great CSAT score from post-call surveys. So those are some of the metrics that we're seeing here. And I would say, enough talking about chatbots and how they can have an impact on your business. I'd like to pass it over to our senior solution engineer, Jag Chatterjee, and he's actually going to show you through a demo of how you can implement these chatbots.
Great. Thanks for that, John. I'll go ahead and take over the screen here. So yeah, hi folks. My name is Jag Chatterjee, and I'm a solutions engineer here at Neuroflash, really primarily focused on digital engagement and Einstein bots. So as John mentioned, the use case and possibilities for Einstein bots really are endless. And with that, I thought we'd show you a few examples of the ways an Einstein bot can help you and your brand. So we'll start off with a symptom checker example specific to COVID-19, which is very fitting for the times. And this will really give you an opportunity to see how the bot can pre-fill case and contact information and what this would look like once it gets escalated to an agent. Then I'll walk you through kind of a whole customer journey. We'll check on the shipping status of a medical device, we'll troubleshoot an error code, we'll schedule an appointment for repair, and then we'll reschedule this appointment a few days later via SMS. So with that, I'll hop right into the demo here. What you're looking at on your screen is the leading medical brand, Neurohealth. So Neurohealth engaged with Neuroflash to deploy an Einstein bot that helps drive self-service, provide that 24/7 service, make agent lives easier, and really drive that CSAT in a positive direction. Neuroflash did a very thorough discovery process on Neurohealth's previous cases and used really a data-driven approach to build out a phase 1 Einstein bot that will provide the most value in a short period of time. So with that, let's change the perspective to myself as a customer browsing the Neurohealth website. I've been feeling sick and heard that they have a COVID-19 symptom checker on their website that I want to try out. So I'd like to direct your attention to the bottom right corner of my screen here. This is the button I use to actually engage with the Einstein bot. Neuroflash can proactively serve up this chat button to customers based on who they are, what they've searched, what they're looking for, or website activity like time on page. And we can customize this chat button in any way a brand would like. So whether it's different colors, a different look and feel, a different image, Neuroflash has the skills to make those types of customizations. So as I open up this bot, you'll notice a few things. The bot seems to be customized to match the Neurohealth brand perfectly, right? It's got the Neurohealth logo, the branding, the colors, the shading, the shadows. It's got the right personality and opening message. The Neurohealth marketing team worked very closely with Neuroflash during the design and implementation of this bot to make sure that it aligns very closely with their vision. I'm also presented here with a few menu options, which are typically the most common use cases for Neurohealth customers. But as I mentioned, I'm here to find out if my COVID symptoms are something I should be worrying about. So I'm going to go ahead and type in this free text box. So because of both the fact that the Einstein bot leverages Einstein's NLP, or Einstein's natural language processing engine, along with the fact that the conversational designers from Neuroflash built these dialogues, the bot was able to determine exactly what I was asking. The bot is also now presenting me with a short video regarding COVID-19 symptoms. Although the Einstein bot supports plain text out of the box, the UI framework is extensible and allows for customizations. So because of that, Neuroflash has actually built an asset called the Einstein Bot UI Enhancer that allows you to embed visual components like the video you see on your screen now, images, carousels, GIFs, hyperlinks, and all other types of visual customizations. So now that the bot has confirmed that I may have COVID, it's begun a screening process. It can ask me things like what type of symptoms I'm feeling. It's presenting me these symptoms in this carousel type fashion. I'm going to go ahead and select both. It can also ask me if I'm feeling any other symptoms of sickness. So I'll go ahead and let it know I have a fever and a headache. So it looks like the bot has actually determined that it should transfer me over to a nurse. At this point, it can start to collect information to pre-fill a case for the agent. So here it's asking me for things like my name, which I'll go ahead and provide it with. Now it's asking for my age and any other information that may be important for the nurses to know. I have diabetes, so I'm going to go ahead and let the bot know this. So at this point, I can actually get transferred over to an agent or a nurse. With that, I'll switch over to the agent experience. So this is the agent console. It's typically where agents work out of for inquiries. So here, agents can view and interact with cases assigned to them, incoming chats, emails, calls, knowledge articles, integrations to any systems they use, cases assigned to them, the entire conversation, and basically everything in between. So it's a pretty uniform experience across Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, and Health Cloud. Based on the topic of the conversation, chats are actually automatically routed to the appropriate agent who is best equipped to handle it. So based on the fact that my omnichannel is letting me know that I have a notification here in the bottom left, it looks like I have an incoming chat, and I'm going to go ahead and accept it. So here I can see everything necessary. Neuroflash designed this console so that I can automatically see who the customer is, any relevant information, what their inquiry is, how the case was created, what the customer is inquiring about, the entire conversation that they just had with the bot, and everything else. So no matter what systems or databases any of that information is stored in, Neuroflash has the ability to integrate that into Salesforce and leverage that information. So whether I want to leverage Einstein features like next best action, as you can see here in the top right, leverage internal or external facing knowledge articles with a quick search, or even leverage previous conversations or case history, I have the ability to do so. But most importantly, as an agent, I have the ability to respond to the customer right within this same window. So as you can see, I have an incredible head start in this inquiry due to all the information that the chatbot was already able to collect and supply me with. So as I'm reading this conversation, it looks like the patient is experiencing some COVID symptoms and may have a few underlying health conditions. So I'm going to go ahead and respond here. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys what that would look like on the customer side as well. As you can see, it's a very seamless transition from bot to agent. Really an incredible and elevated experience for not only the patient or the customer, but the agent as well. So now that I've showed you, a symptom checker example, I wanted to walk you through a short customer journey. So let's say that I, as a customer, have recently purchased a medical device from NeuroHealth and was expecting delivery, but I haven't yet received anything. Let's see how the Einstein bot can help handle that type of inquiry. This time I'm actually signed into my NeuroHealth account, and I'm noticing the button in the bottom right asking me if I need help, so I'm going to go ahead and click it. Because of the fact that I'm actually already authenticated, it can start to use my data to proactively serve up options for support. So here you'll see it's actually asking me if I'm here to inquire about my most recent order, which I am. Neuroflash can also tie into external systems here that are not part of Salesforce, like NeuroHealth's OMS here. So I'm going to go ahead and select yes. Now, rather than selecting one of these options about my order, I'm going to go ahead and type in free text, where is my order? I can now go ahead and select the exact item I want to know the shipping status of. Again, presented to me in this carousel fashion. And now I've been provided with my order status, shipping information. I can actually be hyperlinked out to find further information. And as a customer, that was a great experience, right? I got exactly what I needed, and it only took a few seconds. I didn't have to interact with any agents or provide any extra information due to the fact that I was already logged into my account and the bot was able to leverage my information. You'll also notice that I'm constantly asked if the bot was able to answer my question throughout our conversations. This actually ties into a custom logging schema and analytics that Neuroflash has built, which I'll get into a little later in the demo. But for now, let's continue the customer journey. So let's fast forward a few weeks. Let's say that I've received my neuralizer and I've been using it for quite some time, but now I'm running into an error code that I can't solve on my own. I remember that the bot on the NeuroHealth website was able to help me with my last request, so I'm going to go ahead and try it again. So here I'm back on the website, and I'm going to go ahead and engage with the Einstein bot. Again, right away, we're going to notice a few things. First of all, the bot is again greeting me by name because it already knows who I am based on my authentication and website activity. I'm here provided with a few options, but I'm just going to go ahead and type in natural language and let the bot know I'm getting an error code. So since the bot has access to my data and can pull the information from third-party systems, it's got my completed list of orders right here. So I'll go ahead and select which one I'm referring to. In this case, again, it's that neuralizer. And now it can start to ask further questions to really understand the problem I'm having. So here it's going to ask me what error code I'm receiving. Let it know it is 3230. And now the bot can start to do things to help troubleshoot the issue. So in this case, it's providing me with a short YouTube video to help me solve my problem. And again, I have full playback capabilities right within this window. Now the bot's going to do a check and see if the form of troubleshooting it just provided me with was able to solve my problem. In this scenario, we'll say that I watched the video, it didn't work, and I'll go ahead and say no. So it looks like the bot has actually recognized that it should go ahead and send a specialist over to my location to help repair my device. Because of Einstein's natural language processing engine, I can go ahead and type in natural language when the best day for me would be. So the bot can now leverage scheduling features like Salesforce's Lightning Scheduler to actually schedule an appointment on my behalf. Here, it's went back and determined the best times that are available for that day, and now it's allowing me to choose what works best for me. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 2:30. And just like that, my appointment's been scheduled. The agents now know exactly what device I'm having issues with, what my error code was, and what troubleshooting steps I've already tried. The bot was really able to handle that inquiry from start to finish in just minutes. You'll also notice here that the bot has provided me with a number here to text in case I have any questions or need to make any rescheduling changes. This is due to the fact that the bot can actually be deployed on multiple channels. So whether you want to leverage the Einstein bot on your mobile app, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, SMS, WeChat, or even voice, it all starts with that core framework and the development of this first pass of the Einstein bot that can really be ported over from channel to channel. So let's actually go ahead and test this number out. Let's fast forward another few days and say, it's just a few days before my scheduled service appointment, and I realized, the time that I scheduled for no longer works for me. As I show you here, the last time I engaged with the bot, it provided me with a number to text for any questions on the go. So I'll actually go ahead and do that. Here, I'll go ahead and text that I need to reschedule. Because of the fact that my phone is actually tied to my account, the bot already knows who I am and exactly what appointment I'm looking to reschedule. Again, you'll notice here that due to Einstein's NLP, I can freely type what day works best for me. And with the Tie to Lightning Scheduler, the bot can provide me with the available times based on the day that I selected, just like it was able to do on the web. So I'll go ahead and select 4:30 here. And just like that, it appears my appointment has been rescheduled. You'll also notice that the bot has promised me an outbound text reminder for the day before and the morning of my appointment. That way I won't forget and I can reschedule if need be. You can also really start to see why and how the opportunities for bots are endless. Sure, they can be used for general med device and service support, but they can also be used for claim status checks, sales type use cases, general service inquiries, helping your HR team support their employees internally, scheduling appointments like you just saw, and just about everything else. This new 24/7 support channel can even create a case or lead for you when your agents aren't online just by simply collecting the necessary information. So at a high level, you've seen the customer experience, you've seen the agent experience, but what about the manager experience? That's where the Neuroflash Insights Bot Insights package comes into play. This is where we can see all the data we want and more. As I mentioned earlier, Neuroflash built a custom logging schema for the bot, which is where all this information is coming from. Because of the fact that NeuroHealth has Einstein Analytics, Neuroflash is using EA as the presentation layer here. However, they had the ability to build these same reports in core Salesforce as well. This package is focused on optimizing the bot we've implemented. Neuroflash really wants NeuroHealth to understand where is the bot excelling, where is it not so much, and how can we improve and optimize over time. So let's take a quick dive into the information that we can find here. You'll notice two tabs at the top, the Executive Summary tab and the Performance Breakdown and Optimization Metrics tab. So starting at this executive tab, it's kind of a 30,000-foot view of how the bot's performing. So we can see things like the deflection percentage, what that average handle time change is, the channel breakdown pre and post deployment of the bot. So we'll see here, phone channel was 34% of inquiries. After deployment of the bot, it became 5%. So we saw a significant decrease there. Average handle time, weekly trend lines, and a bunch of other metrics and graphs that you can see here that are kind of at that executive level. But where it gets interesting is this business analyst type tab. So here we can see incredibly granular metrics. So not only can we see things like deflection percentage, but we can really narrow it down as how often were flows completed, were flows not completed, how often are we being escalated, how often is that by design. And as we go down here, we can actually start to see the segmentation of conversations by topic. Diving even deeper into that, we can see segmentation by intent, what pages people are coming from, what devices people are coming from, this user resolution feedback, so that thumbs up, thumbs down that you saw throughout the demo, repeat chatbot users, recognition rates, and this is just a few of the metrics that we can display. Depending on your KPIs, we modify this and customize this to really align with exactly what you guys are looking for. But a great feature about this is the ability to drill down into specific metrics. So let's say I'm looking at my top topics and I notice that warranty questions are my top topic. If I go ahead and select that, you'll notice that all the graphs and metrics around me are changing. I can now see that it's being segmented by intent and that general warranties are kind of the priority here, whereas business warranties, the volume's not as high. I can see exactly what page warranty questions are coming from. But more importantly, I can start to narrow down the user resolution feedback. So it looks like I have 115 people giving us a thumbs down on the warranty flow. So that tells me that there's got to be an improvement there. So if I actually click into the negative feedback, I can actually filter all the transcripts that apply, and then I can actually review those manually or pull them into another tool, really understand why are people giving us those thumbs downs, and how can we make sure that we convert those to thumbs up in a positive experience. Throughout this dashboard, we'll also see things like custom KPIs and base metrics, again, custom to your brand, things like handle time analysis, and just a whole slew of really granular metrics that we can use to track your bot. So hopefully with this quick demo, you're able to see at least a sliver of the opportunity we have with the Einstein bot implemented by Neuroflash, and how effective and necessary a chatbot like this really is during a time of transformation like we're in today. So thank you guys for your time. And with that, I'll pass it back to John to continue this webinar.
All right, thanks, Chad. That was an awesome demo. Hopefully everybody found that valuable. So I guess, so we've showed you some of the challenges, why, and then a great demo from Chad. So how do I get started on this journey? So the good news is that we've done this numerous times and have a well-defined approach to getting started on that chatbot journey. So really want to pick the team, get that team enabled with specialized skills, choose the mission of your bot, and I'm going to go into that more. What are the most impactful use cases? How do I kind of judge those? Then finally implement your, how to implement your bot experience. So I'm going to get into more detail on all of these as we move along here. So from a human perspective, there are a set of a need for different skill sets on your team that you may not have today for a successful chatbot deployment. So just to kind of lay out some of these skill sets, and I'll start from the top left here with the Chatbot Success Manager. So this Chatbot Success Manager is more than just a project manager. They help prioritize your business, your design, and your technical requirements to really drive the greatest impact from a chatbot. So the people on this team, I would say, live, eat, and breathe bots and how to make those better and how to get the value out of those chatbots. As you move clockwise here, you see the data scientist, right? So these are the resources that understand the data, especially that natural language understanding and intents that Jad showed you in some of the demos, and how to gain insights from that data. So they really take those insights and tune that information to optimize performance of the chatbot and make it make it really optimal. Moving on, you have your chatbot developer. So they really understand how to develop an experience that the user will enjoy. Right, so they're going to focus on the development and the testing of those customer interactions and how to make those better. Then finally, we have the conversational designer. So I call this team our secret to extra deflection. So they really are unique in that they are linguistics experts and really create a compelling experience that the user want to engage with. So they are determining how to present information, how to ask questions in the appropriate manner. They're doing all of this to make this a really awesome experience for the customer. So that's the team. Next, let's define what is the mission of our chatbot. So we kind of broke it down into these 4 categories. So I'll start with the FAQ. So I like to think of this as deflect, collect, and transfer. So the chatbot is really providing simple answers that can be easily automated. I think the symptom checker that Jad showed you in the first vignette was more of an FAQ bot. Right, we're trying to provide simple information from something like a knowledge base. There's typically no back-end integrations. And then if I can't deflect that call, I want to collect the information. I want to get that off as a lead or a case to get it to the right agent to handle it appropriately. All right, so that's more of an FAQ type chatbot. The next would be customer service. So how do I automate common tasks that don't require an agent, but potentially do require integration to a backend system? You saw that with the order status. So something that's very simple to automate that doesn't require any skill besides looking at information and relaying that information to the customer. So really a great example of a customer service type use case that we can automate, and we'll get great deflection and ultimately, very high agent satisfaction because they're not handling those common inquiries. Moving on, you go to sales. So how do I effectively engage the customer with a call to action, get them to use the chatbot, collect that necessary information to create a lead, and then get them to the right salesperson to convert that lead to a sale. It's a whole other mission than more of a customer deflect, right? This is engaging that customer and getting them to a live human that can handle the rest of the sales process. And then lastly, we have more of an internal HR use case. So how do I increase employee satisfaction and decrease the time of your internal staff to handle common inquiries? Very similar to the customer service, but more from an internal perspective. So, we've built bots that handle expense policy questions, password reset type use cases, and then customer and employee complaints. These are all some of the common things that we've done from an HR perspective. So really, that's the mission of your bot. So how do we define that, and what is the mission? Then we move on to what are the use cases for that bot. So if you haven't done this already, we recommend, and we can help, that you do an analysis of your existing cases, chats, and channels to find these compelling ROIs. So how are customers interacting with your company and over what channels to start there. Then you really look for the more of the high volume, low complexity interactions, and these are the real ROI winners, right? This is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. I can't stress enough, I think we've done it, the next two bullets, the importance of the user experience, right? So you need a great design with a great flow to maximize the efficiency of your bot. So thinking of that from the beginning to the end, how do I design this? How do I design the call to actions and the greetings to really drive up that user adoption and keep people engaged and wanting to use that rather than wanting to call your contact center and talk to a human. So those are the way we identify the use cases. Next, how do you implement that experience? So I won't get into the details of implementation, but some things you need to think of. Reporting is key. So you saw it with the Neuroflash insights that Jad showed you at the end of the demo. But really, how are you going to measure the success of the bot and the key performance indicators? You really need to have a plan to measure that. We have customers that don't think about this even after we kind of guide them through, and each time we've gone back and added in reporting, because if you can't measure it, you don't know this is success, and if you can't measure it correctly, you don't know the success. And then when you deploy it, another common thing that we do is around change management and a communication plan. These are extremely important. So building consensus with your agents is key to this. So involving them throughout the whole process, educating them throughout the whole process, and letting them have a stake in that process. It's not just about building something and then deploying it, training them on it. We found the best way to do this is really to get them involved and get them to be integral to the design and the deployment of the system. That way they become a champion for this change instead of a detractor. And then lastly, how do you communicate the mission and the use cases of the bot to all of the users in your corporation, in your business? Right, because there's a lot of we want to demystify what a bot can do and what it can't do. So if you get ahead of that and you kind of educate those people on, here's the mission, here's what it's going to do, here's some of the things, some of the ways how you can do it, that communication plan is key to the success. We've actually had customers that have had really unreasonable expectations of what the bot can and cannot do. And we understand that because AI is such a broad term that we launched the bot, it's performing great, but the expectation of what it can and can't do isn't aligned with the mission and the use cases. So those are our kind of the mission, the use cases, how do you deploy. With that, we find a lot of our customers want to launch faster. A typical bot implementation can take around 90 days. So how do we launch faster? So these are two ways of simple bots that we can launch that have a simple mission. So the first is the sales bot, and the second is the case bot. So these are easy to deploy, more wizard based on top of Einstein bot that a customer can go in, they can program it, it collects information in a programmatic way and then creates either a lead or a case. So I'm not going to belabor this, but this is something that we do have, that our customers have found valuable, especially if they want to deploy something fast while they work on kind of that 3-month project to do something better. Finally, launching is just the beginning of this journey. So although the bots use machine learning, they still need a human to optimize the interaction. I think of this as a way you would a human agent. So companies spend a large amount of time and effort continuously optimizing their agents and having them become better trained, better prepared. The bot is the same. You would never take an agent, train them once, and then put them into your contact center and never train them again. So you really want to continuously coach and optimize based upon those outside factors. You can see some of the things up here, but a perfect example of this is COVID-19. So if a customer deployed a chatbot in the middle of last year, nobody could ever foresee the COVID pandemic. So if you don't optimize it and start adding for that and take that into account, the utilization of a chatbot would go down because a large percentage of the volume is going to be responding to COVID and have COVID questions. So you need to understand that, recognize it, see those metrics, and then optimize it to be able to handle that. And there are other examples with seasonal events and technology that need that. So really, that human part, although it's still machine learning, that human part is still integral in the process. So in closing, we've been doing this for a very long time, and we really want you to let us help. So this is what we do. We highly recommend a performance analysis on your chat logs if you have those today, on your cases, and really we can take any data that you could provide us, and we can analyze that and really help you pick these missions, these use cases, and help you to deploy a successful chatbot. So feel free to call us, and I do appreciate everybody joining, and I'm going to pass it over to Michaela to open it up for Q&A.
Thanks, John and Josh, for such a great session. We got some great questions, so let's dive into our Q&A. Our first question is, what is the typical ROI I can expect from a chatbot?
Yeah, so I would say that there are kind of three different metrics that go into the ROI, and I'll kind of talk about those, and then we, and once we have that information, we can kind of give an ROI. So the first is deflection. Deflection is probably the largest factor in an ROI calculation. So how many of the existing chat cases can I deflect without human intervention? So that's really the largest part of the ROI. Another kind of lever or factor in that is channel shift. Right, so most of our customers still to this day, a large percentage of their volume into their contact center is through the phone. So phone is usually more expensive. It's a more expensive channel, and one of the reasons because of that, one of the reasons why is because of the fact that a phone agent can only take one interaction at a time, where a chat agent could take multiple interactions. So what's the percentage of shifting away from the phone into chat? That's another lever. And then the final one is around average handle time. So how can I cut the time the agent spends on administrative type tasks, entering in data, things, by collecting it with the bot and passing that to the bot so that they can become more efficient? So it's all of those factors play into it. Obviously, the larger the volume from a chat and a phone perspective typically means the larger the ROI. I would say on average, when we do the ROI, using really conservative numbers, the average is around 3 to 6 months on a payback.
Thanks, John. Our next question here is, how long is a typical project?
Yeah, I can take this one. This is Jad again. I'd say that most of our projects are roughly around 90 days, but that's highly dependent on a few things, right? Dependent on how many integrations, how complex those integrations are, the volume of use cases, the level of customization, and really things of that sort. I think one thing to note is we can definitely speed that up. We're not tied to 90 days. We've done a lot of projects a lot quicker than 90 days, but there's obviously dependencies on the customer side as well. So I'd say the answer is pretty dependent. We're definitely flexible, but on average, I'd say our projects are around 90 days.
Thanks, Jad. Our next question is, how do you come up with use cases we should focus on?
Yeah, I can take this one as well. As far as chatbot use cases, we do in our pre-sales process a no-charge free discovery where we'll leverage our analysts, our scientists, really take a deep dive into your org, kind of audit your org, understand your cases. If you have chat already, understand your chat, your customers, what type of use cases you want to leverage from there. Um, if not, if we're not taking a kind of a deep dive into your org, we can just get an export of your data as soon as we get a mutual NDA signed and get started there. So we kind of handle the base for the use cases in the pre-sales process. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thanks, Jad. The next question is, what channels does the Einstein bot support?
Yeah, I can take this one as well. So as far as current channels that are being supported, there is web chat, mobile, SDK, mobile web, SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, with a ton more channels coming soon, including WeChat, voice. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thanks, Jad. Our next question is, what are the benefits of the Einstein bot versus other third-party chatbots?
Yeah, so I kind of hit on it in the presentation. So really the benefit of the Einstein bot as opposed to third-party bots is the seamless integration into the Salesforce platform. So you've made this investment in Salesforce. Einstein bots are an extension of that. So answering those chat requests, doing it in the same interface that you do all of your other work, that's a huge advantage. You're not trying to integrate the information that you're collecting within a third-party bot to Salesforce. You don't have a separate interface for chat messages that is outside of the Service Console. And really that integration to the platform is key. That is the main advantage of the Einstein bot over any of the other third-party bots out there.
Thanks, John. So we're at time, so this will be our last question of the day. Any questions we didn't get to answer, we'll reach out to you personally and answer your question. But our last question is, what is your process for optimizing the chatbot?
Yeah, I will take this. So this is really this is what I talked about in my last slide. So we have a chatbot optimization program. So every month we're going to really sit down, look at the data from all angles. So from a usability perspective, from an NLU, we're going to bring all those people that I described in the project. We're going to get them to really analyze that data and make recommendations, and then implement those recommendations on a monthly basis. So think of it as an agile, iterative process where at the beginning of the month we look at the data from the last part of the month. Those people that know your system have been doing this with you from the beginning. Will make recommendations based upon the data and then implement those recommendations on a really iterative process. So that's what we've seen that works best, and that's where we've seen the customers really optimize their system to get past that maybe 30-40% initial deflection and get up into the 50s, the 60%. Really, that's the process that we've taken with them to get those gains.
Thanks, John and Jad, for such a great Q&A. Well, thank you so much for everyone for joining our webinar today. We know your time is important and we appreciate you spending this hour with us. We want to help you. If you are looking to get started on your Einstein Bots journey, be sure to reach out to us. As John said, right now we're doing a free chat log analysis to help you find your top running use cases and see where an Einstein bot can make a big impact in your company. Please reach out to John Hosteler with any questions and to set up a time to talk. His contact information is on this slide, and I will be sending the recording afterwards as well. Thank you again for joining us today, and we're looking forward to talking with you soon. Goodbye.